I'm not comfy here.
Not comfy. You're not comfy in the middle, lad. Get me questions. You alright there? Get off. They're my vitamin D tablets.
Vitamin D.
My vitamin.
Well, yeah.
I need it.
Is that not sun in it? Vitamin D.
Vitamin D, sun, yeah.
We don't get enough of that in England, do we?
Definitely don't get enough of that. I was looking proper pale the other day. I was stood in the toilet and I was like, Jesus.
The other day?
Well, alright. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Right. Classic.
Welcome.
Classic JD, How you doing, guys? We're back in the car. We're changing locations every time for these chats. But currently at point of recording it, I mean the weather's alright currently, but it's been a bit shit, hasn't it, in the old UK? It's not been the best weather. Oh no, sorry, yeah, I'll bleep it out. I can't. But yeah, we come back in the car today for another multi-story chat with a special guest, and today we've got Shaun Keeling. This is Shaun Keeling. Say hello, Shaun.
Hey up, YouTube.
Shaun is our colleague, animator where we work.
I thought we were friends.
Well, okay, we're friends. I was getting there. We're like special friends. We're like work friends with benefits.
Okay.
So we're kind of like that. But yeah, we thought we'd get Shaun in because he's an avid exercise enthusiast in many forms.
Extremist,
my ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought we'd just get you in for a chat and talk about stuff and kind of what gets you going for exercise and what type of exercise you do. So I'll kick it off and then you can kind of start talking and tell us about it. But you are a climber, so you want to tell us?
I'm a climber.
You are
That's
a climber.
What type of climbing?
So yeah, what type of climbing do you do and stuff?
So I mostly go bouldering, but that's out of necessity. I would prefer to do sport climbing.
What sport?
Which is which is like using ropes, whereas bouldering you just use mats and you don't really climb so high.
Right.
I'd rather be outside, but we live in England where it just rains constantly,
yeah.
so it's a bit useless. I wouldn't say I'm well, I suppose I am climbing. Most of my spare time is climbing.
Yeah.
I suppose. And now looking after a daughter.
Yeah. But that is your choice of
it's totally my choice, yeah.
Yeah.
And a bit of running.
Yeah, we do some running at lunches, don't we, and stuff.
A bit.
Well,
every week.
3 days.
You go running 3 days a week, is it?
Yeah,
you do 3 days.
I do 3 days a week.
Yeah, I don't.
Usually.
I'm too lazy. Saturdays of sleeping and drinking beer, aren't they, chaplains?
Why are you looking at me when he says you're drinking beer?
Because you drink beer.
I like drinking beer on Saturday.
Yeah.
I tend to do it Thursday, Friday and Saturday.
What, drinking?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And then regret it Monday.
That's because you're Adonis and your body can take it though, right?
I don't think it's that. I end up knackered all week playing catch up, so it needs to stop really.
Yeah. So how often a week do you climb, and like what's your usual sort of what if you were if somebody said, well, I'm going to ask you, so like what's like if I said to my brother Tony, like last time I said what's a usual set for Tony when he goes to the gym, like and if he's got an hour, what does he usually kind of do? So when you go climbing, what is your usual routine?
It's kind of changing constantly at the minute,
right?
Because with Millie,
and your daughter,
my daughter Millie, who's just turning 1 in like a week.
Yeah,
she climbs as well, doesn't she?
Still, well, kind of. Yeah, she's starting to climb. Still learning my new routine.
Right.
So at the minute, I try and go in and warm up, and then usually I get warm. Then I get given Millie, and I have to feed Millie, and then I get cold again. So then I warm up a bit more, and then now I've tried to like learn where I used to waste time climbing.
Right.
So now I'll get warm, and I'll ignore like the lower grades that I don't need to do, and then just purely focus on the harder stuff, and make my sessions a bit more about quality rather than, because I used to have more spare time, I'd go and it was totally like a social thing.
Right.
And I'd go and I'd just climb for like 4 hours and then I'd go home.
Right.
But when you go climbing, you're not climbing solid for 4 hours.
No, it's like on and off.
It's like you climb, come back down, have a natter, climb, come back down, have a natter. Whereas now I've found I'll do that a bit, but then towards the end of the session, I'm very much usually climbing on my own. And I'm just trying to get in hard stuff, but have a rest, and then more hard stuff and have a rest. Whereas it used to be very loosey-goosey, and I'd never see any improvement.
Yeah.
What are the grades You said about the grades.
Oh,
Because obviously, I went with you once.
Yeah.
And tried to like do
So
certain grades.
where you came, didn't you? And so we went bouldering. And the grading system of bouldering is V0 to V15, maybe 16. I can't quite remember. And then I climb about V7, V8 sometimes on a good day.
But he goes up to 15.
It goes up to about 15, I think.
So
yeah.
what's like 15? Because it's a
Oh,
colour
so,
coded.
yeah.
Oh,
Is it colour coded?
So what's a
no,
V? Yeah,
no.
what-
That's all independent of each place that you go to. So the indoor centres will have their own grading system with colours and stuff.
Right.
So V0 in one place might be an orange, and in another place it might be a green.
Right.
But like V0 is meant to be V0 as a standard type thing. But then V15, I don't think you don't get them indoors really.
Oh, do you not?
It's more outdoors.
So what was the hardest one? You were doing the hardest ones, weren't you? The indoor. Is that like a
So
purple or pink? Or
pink, yeah, that's
Pink's
like
the hardest.
so in the centre I climb in, V8 is usually the hardest they put in there.
Right.
But they will go up to like they've got one at the minute that's V12, which I just won't even look at.
Why?
Well, I'll look at it and go, no, I'm not even going there.
Do you look at it and go, I fancy that, but it's the same way as me looking at it?
Usually I look at it and go, I don't even know if I'll pull my ass off the floor.
Is it like me looking at the Rampage track and going, oh, I reckon I could do that? And then if you were there, you'd be like, there's no way I'm doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd get me little front wheel over the edge and go, no.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's a 3-foot drop.
Whereas at least with the climbing, I can go. I can't even remotely pull onto that. So
yeah. Mountain biking's a bit different. You either got to
do it
commit
or don't do it.
or you kind of stop and go. You stop and investigate what it looks like.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're definitely not doing it because you're just going to shit. 100%. You're just going to like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But you just got to kind of hit it. But yeah.
But then on a side note to that, when you do the ropes, like that's graded completely different again.
Right.
And they're meant to be relevant to the boulder and stuff, but they're not really super close in that way. Right. But they go from like, well, English and European grades go 5A up to 9C, I think it is now.
Right.
And I climb about 7B-ish,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
It's mid-range.
In which you say you prefer doing.
I prefer the
climbing
ropes,
outside.
yeah. I prefer like that, like.
Do you have to have ropes as well when you're climbing outdoors? Because like obviously I
No.
don't know anything about climbing, but in terms of when you go on a holiday, if you go to like Portugal and you go climbing,
Yeah.
can you just freestyle up a kind of a cliff as long as it's like near water or something? Or
So that's a different type of climbing again, which is deep water soloing,
right, okay,
and so that is over water,
yeah.
and it'll be like X amount of height depending on the
If you fall,
climb,
you
and if
just
you
fall.
fall, you just drop in the sea.
Right, yeah.
So yeah,
See, I'd like that. That'd be good.
I've done that in Spain and Portugal, and that's been really good. But if it just depends on what you're going to do. Like bouldering, all you need is a mat.
Yeah.
And usually if you're going somewhere that's popular with bouldering, you can rent them. So like there's a place called Fontainebleau by Paris. I have probably butchered that, by the way.
You need to do it with an accent.
No, I just end up being massively stereotypical. Yeah, so it'd be like, I'd be out there, you can just rent mats out there, and there's like another place called Albarracin, which I've probably butchered as well in Spain, and like you can go with nothing but your bag, and rock up and rent mats, and then you never climb anything too high that you don't need a mat, and then there's places where you can go sport climbing and rent ropes and stuff, but you're kind of risking it a bit there because you don't want to put your life into something that's rented.
Yeah.
And so if I know I'm going abroad to do something with sport climbing, I'll take my gear with me.
Yeah,
Or
trust
as
your
much
own
as
and
I
not
can.
anybody else's.
Yeah, because you just don't you don't know how many times someone's fell on that, or
Yeah.
how many times it's been wet and then dried out or got muddy and then cleaned, and it's like you've got no idea.
I know it's not quite
It's
the
just
same.
not worth
It's
it.
not quite the same, but it's the same when you go mountain biking.
Yeah,
like if you
yeah.
rent, like you, rent a bike and you don't know how hard it's been ridden. It could, you know, they say they service it, but it could be knackered.
Yeah, it could be knackered.
And you're throwing yourself downhill or whatever. Or even a helmet. You don't know how many crashes people had in a helmet and they've not disclosed to.
Yeah, taking this all on board now because you've just said to me like
about going riding. I'm not going to
saying, oh yeah, we can rent everything, chappers. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, well,
and we're going to go downhill, chappers.
Yeah, but we're not doing some mental
mad downhill.
Double diamond nonsense.
Just rolling the old family fire trails. It's nothing. It's nothing nothing too full on and stuff. But
most of your holidays are like literally doing stuff.
Active ones.
Yeah, I can't.
Like kayaking, climbing,
skiing, snowboarding.
Yeah. I sound like someone who's just constantly doing extreme sports.
I
don't know, or at least I don't think I am.
I like
I'd
the way
to
he's
do more.
extreme in everything that he does, apart from actually getting up at R5 and doing a car park workout.
Yeah, I mean that's a struggle.
That's
the
like
peak. That's the peak of extreme. Yeah.
You know
when you've committed to 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you've got a little one, so you're already awake, right?
I've done it once, and that was enough. Yeah, not a chance.
No, yeah. But so like
I want to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's happening.
But like I'll ask you, I was going to say, I think you kind of touched on it about you go to like Font and I can't remember the name you said in Spain and stuff, but like we're in the UK, do you know what I mean? I know you're quite close to Wales, aren't you? Because you live in Liverpool and stuff. So
most of the time with the UK, I go like the A55 in Wales, and there's loads of sport climbing along there,
right? Okay.
And I can get to most of it in like an hour and a little bit, and that's quite good. But that's probably going to change a little bit with Millie because sport climbing's a bit harder with a baby, so I'll probably end up bouldering a lot more.
Right. Okay. Right. Can you not just use Millie as a counterweight at the bottom, with a rope or some sand and stuff?
I wish. I know stuff about like abroad because like it's so much bigger in Europe and so much more relaxed and stuff and more common. I know that like I've heard stories of like they'll just get like, you know, a baby bouncer, and they'll put like rope on it and attach them to the rock and just leave them like enjoying themselves all day. So they're not on a cliff, like they're perfectly on like above the ground.
Yeah.
So
but then they can climb and like do the stuff,
and
the baby's not can't just get off and stuff. But like I don't know. There's not as many places.
Yeah.
You have to like you're at the top. You can see this little hyena.
But you tend to not like. It's not as easy and it's not as big over here, so it's not as easy to do.
Right. Okay.
There's like some places in Europe, they look like tourist attractions in a peak season. You know?
Yeah. Well, I suppose if they're popular, they are just going to end up filling up with people and stuff. And it's the same. I keep bringing it back to mountain biking, but it's exactly the same. Like when I went to Leger last year, it was like it was absolutely heaving, and the bloody downhill championship was there, and it was just like everyone was rocking up for it and stuff, and it was just full on.
We wanted to. You asked the question before about like why do it. I think you did. About like liking the ropes over the other one.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of when I go bouldering usually, I don't get an adrenaline spike.
Is that because of like the
the
run's already been planned out for you?
Well, no, it's just when you do it on the rope, that exposure feeling of being high and on small holds is a lot more intense, I find, than when I'm bouldering. I quite like that when I overcome it.
Yeah.
So if I'm like 30 metres in the air and you're on something and you're absolutely crapping it.
Yeah.
But then you manage to push through it and get to the top anyway. Like I get a much bigger like buzz out of that than when I do go bouldering.
Do you have to follow the path, a path though? Are these
kind
like,
of
when you're using rope climbing?
Yeah.
It's like it's one that's already been kind of like designed.
Yeah.
And it's got all the Is
well,
it
there's
hooks,
Yeah, there's like someone will go along and put bolts in into the. I was gonna say the brick then, but there's no brick into the rock. And then you have like your own clips and your rope, and you go up as you. But it's kind of predefined what you're using. But one of the things, like you've both been indoors with me, haven't you? It's colour coded.
Yeah.
And you very much know it's like I'm meant to do this, and this. But like you might turn up to a wall, and there's just nothing there because no one climbs on it. Yeah. And then you've got to pull on and kind of feel and figure it out as you go. And I quite like that as well with sport climbing, with bouldering.
finding
You
your
do
own
you do
path.
have that with bouldering, but boulding's a lot more popular because you can go and do it on your own with just a mat.
I found that when I was
with
with you, my literally forearms and hands and grip were gone for about 2 weeks. And that's like, because we lifting the sandbags every day and stuff like that, so you think that you've got a good grip, but then that is just literally
It's totally it's totally
for,
different.
like,
Yeah.
constant for, well, it's for a long time, innit? Even if it's like
And I
a
think-
5-minute grip.
I think when you're climbing, it's pure. Well, it's not purely fingers, but like a lot is in your fingers.
Yeah.
Whereas I think when you've got sandbags and stuff, you're getting like
The full grip. The hand.
you're getting all your wrist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do get a climb as well.
Like when you mentioned about Shauna Coxey yesterday, I was like looking at some pictures of her and stuff, and she's just hanging off like bloody things, and it's like
Oh, yeah,
literally she's just hanging
Who's
off.
that?
And
I don't know who that is.
she, well, go on, you tell her.
So she's like, I don't know, she's 3 times world champion for
Right.
bouldering.
Right.
But she's from Liverpool. No, Runcorn originally, but she used to climb in Liverpool a lot. You'd see it like when I was starting out, you'd see her and she'd just be flying up everything. You'd be like,
Right.
"Yeah, like she's a monster." And then now she lives in Sheffield, I think. I don't know why we're going on. What's she on about?
I just asked you questions about.
That's
her,
true.
so.
And then I think she's one of the GB athletes for Tokyo as well
All right.
All right.
for this year. So
Oh, maybe that's why I was saying about the Rob Warner was doing something with it this year and
Yeah.
stuff. Probably because of that.
what's it? This year's the first year Tokyo climbing's in the Olympics.
All right.
This year.
I was going to say that when you said that
It's
then,
the
I was
first year.
thinking,
It's never
is
been
it an
in it
Olympic
before.
sport?
It is now.
Mountain biking as well, like cross country mountain biking is a Olympic sport as
Is
well.
that just started?
2012, the UK one.
Was it?
Yeah, it came
Right.
in, and he was down in
Has-
Kent.
Have they replaced something then? Them two?
I don't think so. They just additions, don't they? I think they do, don't they?
Normally they
No,
have to,
I think they have
replace.
to replace.
Oh, do
I
they?
don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
I'd be
because it's
totally
funding. It kind of like breaks it up.
Right.
So like certain sports get a lot more funding than others, obviously.
Yeah.
But it usually depends on like if they're doing really well, they'll get more and more and more, which is ridiculous. If you're doing really well, you'd think that
Yeah.
that would get reduced and passed on to something that's not getting.
Yeah, it would finance
Doing
another
really
sort of
well.
sport
Yeah.
and stuff, bringing in.
So
I
maybe-
thought
don't
they
know.
just
Unless they
added.
have started just adding more and more.
I don't know, because I guess these days you can what's the word? You can televise more sports,
Anything,
can't you?
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like back in the day,
Yeah.
you probably couldn't. You were kind of restricted to your few channels. Whereas now, because they do have them on at the
Yeah.
same time, don't
Yeah.
they? But they've got
That that'd be
Yeah.
class the way that they did it
Yeah.
with Amazon Prime. Over Christmas
Oh,
they
with
had
the
the
football.
football.
yeah, exactly.
It'd
Yeah.
be class at the Olympics where you could literally have a list of
Yeah.
the sports and events, and you just click on it. You could watch it all day.
Yeah.
That'd be ace. That.
That would be good.
I think the BBC do a similar thing.
They do over
It's
like
just not
2, 3, 4.
as it's not
Yeah.
the way you say like as easy as
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Big shout out to Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out to Amazon Prime.
Like they need it.
Jeff
Yeah.
sends some money.
I really like Picard.
Yeah.
What was I going to say then? Yeah, because golf never used to be an Olympic sport, did it? And then it came in.
All right, I didn't even know that was a sport.
Yeah, it came in for 1 year. I don't even know if it's been removed now.
Right. They replaced it with a better sport, mountain biking. That's what they did.
Probably. But yeah, and obviously Great Britain never used to have a football team, did they? And then
Oh yeah, that's an Olympic sport,
then-
isn't it? Football now, isn't it?
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it always has been, but I don't think
Yeah,
we've
it's usually the
ever,
professionals don't go in it, do they?
Right. Okay. Right.
Some countries do, and some, like England doesn't and stuff.
All right. Okay.
Brazil take it pretty
Seriously.
seriously. Yeah,
Yeah. Fair
tend
enough.
to win it all the time, don't they?
Fair enough.
Dying to mention Liverpool now.
It might come
Let's
later.
not,
You never
let's
know.
not, we'll just cut that
No,
right
we-
there. As soon as he says anything, cut.
I had the plan at the beginning of this as well to say that I'm just going to swear
What?
and make racist comments and make Jay's life hard.
It'd just be like one
Jay has to
constant
just
like
edit.
bleep bleep
Yeah,
bleep
yeah,
bleep 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 bleep. I mean, I might just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Might do it anyway.
Should
but-
we not just ask him
bleep out
that
the
question?
answers.
One question now is like, why Liverpool and not Everton?
This is one of the random 5 questions.
Oh,
Well, I
it's
just
fine.
thought-
No,
because
go
you
on.
just-
It's yeah.
We're still going to do that at the end, but yeah, you can ask a different.
Or
You can
why
ask your other
Liverpool
one.
and not United? I mean,
I mean, that's
what's
an
the
obvious
point?
choice, isn't it? Right?
You can't even answer it.
Yeah, I don't really know because my dad has brought us up as Liverpoolians, but then he totally put me off football because he's like mad into it, and so I got to a point in my teens where I was like, I don't want anything to do with football at all.
Right.
Didn't watch it, didn't pay any attention to it. But my mum's side of the family, they're all Blue Noses or Evertonians. And so but then it's weird that out of a rebellious thing I didn't go down that. Like, I should have went on Blue. But instead I just went, I'm not interested in football. And then, probably as a glory hunter, was it 2005 when Liverpool
Were the
won?
champions?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, football's interesting now. And then so what's that, like 15 years since then?
Yeah.
So then I've been only watching it for the last 15 years. Chap is like,
Brilliant.
scumbag.
Well, like,
Scumbag.
I was raised. I don't follow. I don't really follow football anymore. These guys are the ones that follow football. But like, I was raised a Liverpool FC supporter as well. Like my mum, my nan, and I was gonna say Liverpoolian, but I'm from Scam, so you can't say that, right? It's like Shaun Keeling. You can't say she's from Liverpool because she's from Runcorn. It's it's frowned upon. But yeah, for years and years, like my dad was in it and stuff like that. And then it got to the point where, like, when they were just like, buying your kits and stuff when you're a kid, and I was just like, nah, I'm not interested in this, and I turned Evertonian.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I started following Everton like when it must have been like the '90s, early '90s, stuff like when Kenny Dalglish was managing. No, he wasn't managing them, did he? I remember he was managing Blackburn. And I went to go watch Everton play at Blackburn, and he was managing them and stuff. When Andre Kanchelskis was in it, or whatever his name was, that's the only name I remember.
Yeah.
Then Ferdinand, is that right?
Ferdinand, don't say that.
Is that right?
Duncan Ferguson.
Duncan Ferguson, sorry. So yeah, they,
Brilliant.
and then
Brilliant, I love this.
and then I think I was a bit like you. I fell out of it, and then went to uni, and one of the lads was like a big Liverpool fan, and then obviously we were at uni, and we had the big Istanbul night, and we were sat there halfway through the match going, oh, let's just stay in, lads. This is crap. This, and then obviously they came back out and smashed it, and we was like, drink, and then suddenly I was back into football again. But then I just fallen out of it again.
Like all my mates, Liverpoolians, growing up and stuff, and
so the outcome here basically.
So then uni, like, it was like an excuse to go back out and drink. It was like, oh, the match is on, should we go out?
Yeah.
And then ended up falling back into it.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah,
there's an outcome here. It's like
scumbag glory
from 2005.
That's why this year is so special.
It's going to get more fans.
Following for Liverpool fans.
I might start supporting football again after this year. Like,
You'll need 4 more games, Jane. You'll be laughing.
Sweet, nice
We'll
one.
be back. United will be back.
Yeah, maybe.
About 15 years.
I was looking at there. It's
there. Let's bring it back to CPW because,
talking about Liverpool all night.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to bring up on was like, other than doing your climbing stuff, is you started doing circuit training and stuff of an evening once a week.
Tuesdays,
and I'd like to think that was inspired by us chappers, because
I don't really want to give you the credit
because we've been doing it for a year, and then he comes along and goes,
for longer than a year.
Well, you have, I've not. And then he's
were a big influence on it, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's other things there with like family members and stuff, but you were a big part in that.
Because Jo does a lot of training, your wife.
Yeah, she does loads of running. She comes climbing all the time. I'm not getting involved there. No,
you might do in about 10 minutes time and asking questions about.
And she's very like influential on my fitness as well, because I can be not lazy, but I don't really like listening and stuff and finding my own way. But then she's very much like, well, if you do this, that'll get you good and whatever.
Yeah,
and then,
but
then she used to do circuits a lot. And then I think because you were doing it, you inspired her a little bit as well. She wants to get back into doing some circuits. And then I was like, oh, go on, we'll start trying it. And then with the climbing, I've been at plateaus a few times. And then every time you see online, they're like, oh, if you incorporate some of the stuff into your thing, you'll find your climbing will get better. And then it has helped loads. So then I've been more interested in doing that side of things as well.
Okay.
But as much as I don't want to give you any credit for it, it is partly your fault.
Who would you say is the strongest then, out of you and Jo? Like, either way. Jo. In an arm wrestle, in a climb.
We'll say mentally Jo.
That's a good answer.
She's catching me up with the running again now. She used to be way faster than me at running, and then we've had 2 daughters, and she lost a lot of speed, but then she's getting there. Yeah, I need to start running more.
Yeah. I remember like in the nicest possible way. I've only ever been with like I went climbing with you once and Jo was there and she was pushing and like in the nicest possible way. And I hate to reference this fella, but Jo is a fitness Hitler.
Yes,
She will just push you and like in a very positive way.
Can't believe you just used this word.
I know, yeah, but like
word.
in a very positive way, she'll force forces you to do stuff, and it's but like and at the time I remember at the time going like I was like going, geez, I can't do this, but she's going, oh no, you can, yeah you can, and then you're a bit like that when we've been running, you've been just like, give me another level and stuff, and it's like I can't, and then you're like, no, you can, that you can do it and stuff, and it
positive reinforcement.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, but like
/ an excuse to assert dominance.
Oh yeah, I love being dominated when I'm running. That's a different story.
No, she's good. She's good. Like she is really good that way. Really pushes people and stuff.
Yeah.
Just wants to.
So strong mentally.
Yeah, I think like my mum tries to get fit as well with us, and hats off to her. Like she's.
Hi, John.
I do not want to mention. I'm not mentioning her age. We'll just leave it. But yeah, she's
21.
Yeah, my mum's 21. But she still has a go and stuff, and but then she calls me Jo, like my wife. She called her the dragon. I can't remember, something like that.
Like Bruce Lee.
Like, what is it she calls her? That'll pop back to me probably by the end of the show.
Right, okay.
But yeah, my mum has some dodgy name for her because she's like you said, an exercise Hitler.
Yeah. But in a good way.
But in a good way, yeah.
Did they get on or did they clash?
My mum and Jo
normally like
get on.
mother-in-laws and
In-laws, yeah. No, they get on dead well.
Do they?
Dead well, yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to ask. I don't know if you want to talk about your other daughter, Poppy.
Oh, Poppy.
Because I think
that
like
pain in the ass.
But like from an outsider's point of view, like I think what happened with Poppy, and it's up to you if you want to talk about it, I'll let you talk about it if you want to. But what happened with Poppy, it definitely I saw like you both sort of like step up. Fitness, your climbing, what you were doing, and kind of being active, especially with the charity stuff as well. You kind of like proper like took it on board, and I think from an outside point of view, that kind of looks like you've used that as a way of getting like better physically fit and stuff.
It totally was like I have no idea if you've mentioned Poppy on it.
Only other than the challenge, yeah.
Right. So a bit of background. We had forgotten what year she was born. That's bad, isn't it? 2017. So me and my partner had a daughter, and then she passed away after 4 days due to kidney problems. But I won't go into the sub story too much. But yeah, I think that then forces into like a lot of exercise. But it's kind of weird. Me and Jo both knew that exercise was a good fix for us.
Yeah.
Way before. For like any stress, and Jo's always been dead aware of it, where she's like, if she's in a mood, she'll just be like, I'm going on a run, I'll be alright when I get home. I'm like, okay, you can go do a run for 20 minutes. Whereas I fight it a lot more. I'm like, oh, I'm in a mood, like I'm just gonna sit here and sulk, and she'll be like, go for a run, like you guarantee you'll feel better after 20 minutes.
I think anybody could be like that.
Yeah, just spiking your endorphins a bit, and then like it'll change your mindset a little bit. Like a lot of people reckon changing your breathing helps with all that type of stuff. But I fight it. I'm a bit like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But she's like, just go for a run, you'll be fine, or whatever. Try to see. And then we knew that before Poppy, but then when everything happened with Poppy, we knew we needed it even more.
Yeah.
But then, equally in the opposite direction, we've used it as a total distraction as well. And sometimes it's not always been the best. Like I'm bad for it, where I'll just put my head down and just keep exercising, and then I'll never deal with anything. Yeah. And then it always comes out eventually.
So you kind of like use it as a way of dealing with grief, but not actually dealing with
by ignoring it.
Yeah. Bottling it up.
But then it has helped loads with, like, as you say, with the charity stuff. It's like forced us to do certain things and focus on new things. But all the charity stuff we've done's mostly been exercise related.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but most of it. Yeah.
From an outside, I think that's been good in it as well. In helping, or it seems to have helped you guys to kind of keep a name there, keep her like constantly like
on the mind,
keep her alive.
Keep her alive, but with everyone, getting everyone involved.
Yeah.
And then I suppose that's kind of like helps people like ourselves talk about her as well.
Yeah, well, that was,
you know what I mean? Which is nice in a way, because at first I found it quite difficult, because obviously I've got 2 kids and I know what it's like, and well, I don't know what it's like. I know what it's like to have children, and I don't know what it's like to obviously to lose one.
Yeah.
And I found it really difficult at first to kind of like bring her up or mention it or anything like that. I'll talk to you about it. But then the charity events and going along, it kind of, me being an outsider looking around thinking, wow, it's quite powerful. Everyone's kind of, and everyone's happy. Yeah. Everyone's laughing and joking.
I think that Poppy Challenge is a testament to you two.
Yeah.
Because like the amount, like, I don't think I've been to a few charity events and I'm like big ones, like big organised ones, and they're just heaving. So you kind of expect it, but when you go to like the Poppy Challenge, that's obviously just something you two created. But you have like what, 200 people, 300 people there last year.
Like
300
people.
And it's like, I think that's like a testament to like you both, like, and
not just us two.
I know, but do you know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people.
Shout out to the Poppy crew.
The Poppy, yeah, there's obviously like all the Keelings, because you've got like 50,000 Keelings, haven't you? There's like
a little bit.
But yeah, no, like that is like.
I remember that was something we were conscious of actually, like as well. It was, we never wanted it to be a hush subject. You know what I mean?
No.
And I don't know, every like everyone, each to their own. Like everyone has to deal with, especially grief like that, their own way. But it was something we wanted to make sure didn't just become something people wouldn't mention or were too scared to mention. Yeah. And we didn't want her name to just like be like, oh yeah, they had that daughter that time. It was like, no,
it's really nice. It's like
the name everywhere. And
and it's like you've got, obviously he's got the tattoo on your arm.
Shows you
got the t-shirt.
Poppy Rocker. Yeah. So I don't know why her name's Poppy Rocker, but it is. Yeah. It just, so she was named Poppy Elsie Keeling, and then on day 2 while we were in the hospital, I don't know what it was. I just drew a picture of like a baby on a rocket, and then she became Poppy Rocker. So then now we're like a Walker merch family.
So you branded your daughter.
And then made it into a merch.
So in 20 years time,
we just don't sell any. We just need to sell it. We just buy everyone else's rocket merch.
You could do it, and that would fund Millie's university. Yeah. And you'd be like, see, your sister's funding your university.
That would be a class as well. That
would be nice,
wouldn't it? That would be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be good.
But I think like doing it, I think that's helped as well, though, by giving her like a nickname.
Yeah.
In some ways, like made it easy for people to talk about it.
Also, it's like, I bet it's easy for you to kind of have something that makes you feel like it's part of you, to like wearing like your little rockets everywhere, and like having it around the house. It's actually a lovely symbol. Yeah. And it's kind of like, I know that every time I wear something, it's kind of like I've got part of me. Yeah. And
I think as well, with the rocket stuff, it's like, it's a nice reminder without always looking at a picture of her. Yeah, because the pictures of her can be quite hard. Yeah. Like, she's obviously in ICU and she's got all the tubes and everything, and they can be quite hard and like hard hitting when you glance at them. Whereas the rockets aren't as bad in that way.
I understand that.
So that's good value.
Yeah, that's good.
But then she made me do a marathon, didn't she?
She did make you do a marathon. Do you think you'd have done that if it not had happened?
I think eventually I would have ran a marathon, but not for a very long time.
Yeah. Because
Joe used to do marathons, and he used to be like, off your barnet. Like, no way am I doing one of them.
I reckon next time you do it, the marathon.
Next time.
So your next marathon.
Sound like Joe now.
Your next marathon this year.
This year.
I think.
When you're in Australia.
I think we should make you like a sandbag rocket, right?
Right.
And you actually wear it like a rucksack.
Yeah.
But it's a proper rocket, a bit like Buzz Lightyear rocket on his back. I reckon you've got to do a marathon with a rocket on your back.
I thought you were going to
go £20. It's really heavy.
I thought you were going to go down the route of branding Poppy with CPW
No,
and be
no,
like,
no,
you got we're jumping on that, bro.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, though.
When I done the marathon, I did want to get one of them. You know, you get the sumo fancy dress outfits that blow up with hair. But you can get them as a rocket.
Oh, can you?
And I was debating doing the marathon with that.
Right, that'd be quite hard.
I was also like, I've not done one before. It's probably going to be hard enough.
Yeah, you don't want to pass
Just
out
a
on your first marathon.
£20 rucksack.
£20, yeah.
Be fine.
All right, chappers. You can join it do it with me.
I'll do it. let's cut that right out. Right out.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, there's no way I'd be able to do a marathon. In my entire life.
I didn't think I could do one. I kind of guessed I would do a marathon, but I was like, I'm probably not going to start that till I'm like 40 odd.
Yeah.
And then,
When
as part of raising money for the year Poppy passed away, it was just like, it was total distraction as well. Like, it was like, I can just focus my energy on this.
Yeah.
And it gives me a total distraction, but then the exercise helps anyway.
Yeah.
And I get to raise a load of money for the hospital. And it was like, all right, I'll do that. And even after it, I knew I'd done it as a distraction, and it didn't always help. But it was like, looking back on it, it was still something I had to do.
Right.
That was good.
Speaking of obviously conscious of the time and stuff, I'm enjoying the chat, but 40 minutes nearly, 40 minutes, yeah. So I've still got the questions yet, but
I've asked two.
I know you have, but you got. Well, we'll think we'll change. We'll figure it out. But in terms of the hospital and raising money and stuff, there's an event this year as well. I know you've done it last year, but we're going to get involved as CPW as a little team. But you know, if you want to talk about that, it's a constant challenge.
They're going to get beat.
They're going. We'll be right, mate, won't we? We'll be.
Lose it all.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. I'm going to run like the first K up that mountain.
So what is it? It's a,
So there's a
hike.
A hike, a 10k hike, and then a 17k mountain bike, and then a 3k. Is it 3k or 5k kayak?
Kayak, yeah.
We'll do 5k. We'll do 5k.
Yeah, we'll do 5k. Yeah,
It's fine.
we'll have loads of time.
But that's all organised by the hospital, and
that's all the hay.
all the Hay Children's Hospital. But it was a boss event. We done it last year, and to be fair, I totally underestimated it because I thought, oh, it won't be that hard, because it's like a charity event. But then it was actually
Quite difficult.
It was quite hard. It was harder than I thought, but it's not meant to be a race. But we raced it, so I think that's why it was hard.
Yeah. Well, you know, you said that to me. It's not a race, but every chat we've had about it's turned into like, oh, it's if you slowest members, like, you know, that's just the fastest your slowest member in this, and we're like, and then he was like, oh, it's a hike up a hill, and then he's going, I'm probably going to run it, and I'm like just sitting there going like, I want to run up a mountain. I can't even run over flat ground properly.
His knees will blow out.
I know. I've never done it. I've never done 10k.
I'll carry it if your knees blow out.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And then when my knees blow out, Jakob can carry us both.
Yeah, I doubt it.
And Dave can carry you, and Jakob can carry me.
Dave, are we actually outing him out?
Well, he said he's doing it. You said you're doing it. He said, yeah.
I'm going to book it on Friday, so.
Right.
Yeah, you got to do it.
He's not like he's going to lose out a load of money, though, is it? You know what I mean?
No,
it's like a tenner. He just wants to. Mind you, he'd probably come because it's a tenner. Knowing him.
What? Because he's cheap.
Yeah.
Because he's stingy. Yeah. We're trying to. I was going to say go get Tony, but we need two other members, won't we? So I'd maybe try and get someone else. Get 6 people. Be good.
Get Phil Gray.
I did ask Phil, but he's not got back to me.
Does he not?
We'll ask him again. Give me a little push.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about, Alan, before we close up with the quick fire stuff.
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to say anything else or talk about anything else.
If you want to say we're doing a really good job, and you know, like I've lost loads of weight, and Chappers is like.
Well, impressed you didn't get up
ripped.
that early. Yeah, and then you've been smashing it especially with the running. So I don't see you at CPW, so I don't know what you're doing.
I was not.
Can't see him running because he's always behind you.
No, I do run with him. It was only last week because it was freezing, so I had to go and do my own thing. Otherwise, I would have got hypothermia.
I went for a run for the first time with these, and he ran off. I was running with him, and then he went, just run at my pace. And
No, I didn't say just
thought,
run at my pace. I said I'm gonna be slow because that's my pace. And then he's running off, and he's about like 100 meters in front of me, going, "Which way? Which way?" And I'm just like, if you kept up with me, then you'd been all right.
Can't run backwards.
No, I wasn't fishing for a compliment then, but I'll take it. But,
Yeah, you've done well though. Done 5k without stopping.
Yeah, the two.
Close to half an hour.
Yeah, that was hard. That I've proper dropped off though.
Yeah.
Christmas is just like I feel like we're
Yeah,
build back up again.
I
Just
think
take
it's
ages
been
though.
hard on it.
Just
It's
take
been
a
hard.
while.
It's, I think we've had, I worked out we've had like 5.5 months now of dark, cold
Yeah.
mornings.
It's weird though, because like the run up to Christmas, we were still smashing CPW, obviously doing the Christmas one, the Halloween one.
Yeah.
And then you have that little break, and it's not really changed time wise or weather wise, really.
No,
But
it's
it just feels.
It's just
it
been
feels
drawn
so.
out,
Yeah.
I think, like you say, I think
horrible.
October is kind of, it starts going dark and
Yeah.
and then it's getting a bit colder. So it's all right October. November, you're all looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you know you've got a break.
Yeah.
In like the Christmas, New Year.
Yeah.
And then you think you're going to be all right in the new year, and then it's like it ends up just getting tiresome, and it's like February.
Yeah.
And now it's March.
just waiting
and
for
it's
the
like,
sun.
come on,
Yeah.
just give me some vitamin D.
That's why I've got an unopened bottle of pills. I'm like, oh, maybe I should start taking vitamin D tablets when I'm thinking. I'm not even touched them.
New mark.
The chewable, I didn't see they were chewable actually, but yeah.
Um,
So should we jump on these quick questions and then as we're kind of
big shout out to Big shout out.
Big shout
out.
I'm from Somerset. I am.
Big shout out to Tyson Fury. Well done.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I know. How many times have we mentioned? You're not quite 6'9".
No, I'm not. I'm not quite as
Quite
rich either.
stone.
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah, okay.
Massive fight.
Yeah,
Massive
that
fight. Was,
dates this, doesn't it? That was at the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
Impressive.
not massively into boxing, but I know you guys kind of are. Right?
No. I watched it, but I'm not really in.
Oh, okay. Cool, sweet, nice one.
He's started. All right, nice one. Yeah, done.
Well, I don't know. You went quiet.
It's all right. We'll mention that another day. It's gone.
Well, we're going to do a CPW.
Yeah.
We're going to do one of our own normal chats, and we can bring it if you want to talk about it. Then.
He's coming in on Mondays now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you said
day.
you're going to come in on Mondays, didn't you? So that's very good. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Right. So at the end of these chats, and including ours, ours were a bit different because we did 10 questions, but the one we did with Tony and future ones, we said we're going to do like 5 questions, sort of quick fire, have a little think, give us your answer kind of thing, and then random one. I'm going to spice up a little bit with my first question and kind of do word association.
Can we not have Chappers stand next to the brick wall again?
Over to you, Chappers. Stand
Shocking.
or sit. I normally stand.
What? Can I ask? What did you want? What were you fishing for there?
I don't know. Could have been anything.
I was
But
like, stand or sit?
I sit down.
It's just easy at your age, isn't it, to sit down?
You have to wait for a bit sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like, especially like when someone comes into the cubicle like next to you.
Oh, that's the worst. That is the
And
worst.
it's like, oh, and especially
when they're quicker than you. You've been there 5 minutes
Yeah.
trying to negotiate
And it's dead
the
quiet
terms,
as well.
terms of what's going on, and then
dead
he comes
quiet, and you know you can hear someone else. He's like,
in.
and you're like, mine's not going yet. I wonder if he'll realise I'm not waiting. Or if I'm just nervous.
No, what he's really is like, why are they in there and being all quiet? What are they doing in there?
Anyway, let's not talk about going.
Anyway, so question 1, word association. These are like just words I've thought of, and then first comes to mind. First comes to mind. Yeah. So really, right, climbing.
I was going to say hard, and I don't know why.
Fair enough.
It's probably because at the minute I'm trying something in the hangar that's doing me head in. I've probably had 400 goals on it, and at the minute I'm frustrated with it.
There's one arm pull-ups that you can't do.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. Protein.
Powder. Don't know why.
Crush.
Girl.
Okay. Family.
Millie. God, I've turned into a dad.
Right. Dream. Dreams.
I was going to say job.
Job.
Yeah.
You in your dream job. Pain.
Like, management. Yeah.
Liverpool.
Accent. Come up first. For some reason. Accent. Alright, like, calm down.
Shut up, mate. Get out the car.
I wasn't meaning all Liverpool, Liverpool people.
Will you do us a favour when you get out of the car? You just make sure the wheels are still attached.
You're not.
Animation.
I went Liverpool when I was older.
You did. Hey, mate.
Hey.
Animation.
Let down.
Let down. What in like what you get back?
I don't know. I just want to come into my head.
Let down. Or is it your work? Let down.
No, let down. I'm working the same.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Hard.
And the last one, car park workout.
Terrible.
Thanks, mate.
Brilliant. That. I tell you what, I would have found that difficult.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Word association.
Yeah.
A podcast I've been watching started doing it. I thought it might be a good idea because it just puts people on the spot.
Well, sometimes you get like two things come at once, and you're like, what come first? And then you're like, well, that sounds shit, so should I say the other one?
Yeah.
And then you go, no, I should say the first one, even if it makes no sense.
Yeah, like I watched one and he said he was like life, and he went,
job.
he was like life, and he went family, and he went, oh, next one's family, and he went life, and it was like right, okay, this week.
Yeah.
You want to ask a question number 2? Have you got a question you can ask?
I haven't.
I think you've already kind of asked.
Asked mine. Like, you said, what's your favourite thing to do? Why Liverpool? Why?
Right.
Who's the strongest? You or Joe? You obviously said Joe.
To be fair to Joe, right?
And then
she is like barely 5 foot. So
A little rib tickler as well.
yeah, she's very strong for her size.
All right. Don't take it all back now.
Yeah, start groveling.
Go on, ask me right.
What's your favourite film? Like this one.
Yeah. Go on,
Favourite film?
What's your favourite film ever? Braveheart.
One Night in Istanbul.
It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? Because like, I wouldn't say I've got a favourite film I'll put on, but I'll like nostalgia, and it reminds me of Christmas and stuff. Even though I know it's not the greatest film ever, but it's like the film Hook. Just reminds me of like all my brothers and Christmas and stuff.
That's fine.
And so it's like that will go on every year, no matter what.
Yeah.
You like watch it?
Yeah.
That's like me when I said Lord of the Rings. Like, it's not really my favourite film, but it's like a comfort blanket.
Yeah.
You can kind of just stick it on. You don't have to watch it. You know, you enjoy it, and it just passes the bit.
I think mine, like that I watch every year, is either Home Alone or Elf. But that's Christmas, innit?
Yeah.
That's because you just watch it.
So and then whenever we watch Hook with my brothers, we just suddenly turn into 4-year-olds, and everyone's running around the house
throwing food at each other. Yeah. I think with Christmas films, you always watch Christmas films every year, where you can probably go without watching Rocky or Lord of the Rings for like 4 years, couldn't you? But you always watch Christmas films, and you know
he's always there, though, isn't he? He's always there.
I mean, yeah, for you he is, yeah.
I mean, all I have to do is put the music in there.
Right, so question 3. We're rocking up, it's like 45 minutes. That's fine, it's 20 past 1, we're fine. Question 3. What would you do for a job? Oh, I don't again. What would you do if animation was not your day-to-day job? So basically, if you were to do something else, now if it all failed now and you moved on to something else, which is quite possible because animation, what would you decide? What would you do?
At the minute, I'd have to go into climbing somehow, and I don't really know how.
Right.
I want to open my own gym, but it's just, I can kind of tell it won't happen. It's kind of weird over here. It's like, in the UK, it's not funded the way it is in Europe, and then you see some of the stuff in Europe, and it's just like these massive, like epic gyms. And we've got one up in Scotland. It's like this quarry that they put a roof on, and like I'd love to have something like that around the northwest, but it just isn't.
Would that be like a gym as in like climbing, or would that be?
It has everything.
Yeah.
It's just like a gym and a coffee shop, but then it's got all the climbing built in and stuff. And like the one up in Scotland is just ace, but like there's nothing else like that in the country, I don't think. But you're talking mega money. Too far.
No, it was my foot on the pedals.
Getting steamy in here.
Yeah.
So it's you'd like to.
I think I'd go, or like, I'd probably go into something to do with climbing. I think.
Not like you like
I do love DIY, but it's infuriating.
Yeah.
You get to a point where you're like, this is enjoyable, and then you get 3 hours in, you're like,
you don't. It's like animation.
I'm like that. Everything, yeah. Well, you know, everything takes too long for me. It's like you end up spending. I'm not going to start talking.
Don't worry, I've been there as well.
So,
Sleep. Everyone's asleep.
Before everyone signs off.
8 weeks of talking about it. Go on.
Question 4. We'll throw in a classic CPW one of like desert island.
Exercise. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, to do with exercise. No, it's not. It's nothing to do with exercise.
Desert island. What was it? The three things you can take. You can take one bit of entertainment. What was it? It was like
I don't think it was any.
It was just well, yeah. What
three
items you would take on a desert island? But yeah,
not your family.
Yeah, not family. So you're on your own, castaway, Tom Hanks style, on a desert island. What 3 things would you?
A fridge.
A
A generator for the fridge.
Good one.
You never thought that, did you?
And well, I said a fridge with a life supply of Moretti.
Yeah.
But you can't plug it in, so you.
Yeah, I don't think.
Probably a camping stove, because I'm the most boring person ever. Like, cook that fish.
Could have had a TV. Could have had a mobile to phone to get someone to give him a lift.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Are we signing off?
No, we need one more question, but I'm thinking I might just throw it over to Chappers for
a question that I asked myself.
Yeah. Oh no, what was your question? I didn't hear what you said.
I said, why did you do exercise anyway?
Oh, okay. Then so question 5.
No, go on. Chappers' question.
What?
Stand or sit?
Oh, I'm not even
No, go on.
I don't know what context it's in.
It could be in any. It depends on what your response is.
I don't know.
Depends. I mean, it could be a number of things, couldn't it? But
because the last couple of answers have been toilet based, I'd say if I'm having a sit down, but if I'm having a piss, stand up.
I'd be a bit worried if you were standing up taking a poo.
That's true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Depends on where it is in the world.
Depends on where.
That could be.
Especially he does climbing in the
That's
outbacks.
true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean?
Just do a squat. Pop a squat.
Maybe that could be the next one. Stand, sit, or squat.
Yeah, just pop a
Right.
squat.
Okay. Yeah.
You might think that you're doing some kind of exercise.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Instead of just randomly asking people.
Yeah.
Squat.
I like that. Right. Okay. Well, we'll sign off from there. We've done it. We're under an hour. We're under an hour. I think that's a bit of a thing for 52 minutes. But so thanks for agreeing to doing the chat with us and stuff. Appreciate it.
Thanks for making me do circuits once a year. And then making my own class.
Yeah, and then cash in on it probably.
God, I'm making my own channel.
Yeah.
It's called Indoor.
Yeah, because as has been doing so well.
Mate, we got 3 more followers today. We're rocking. We're flying high.
I'm just gonna promote my own, but up to all the charity events. So then I get like just the easy.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Arse.
I'm not. I'm far too lazy to do any of that.
I've done 1,000 steps. Sat here.
What have you been doing?
Jigging around.
What do
you mean?
Stand or sit.
I told you.
And he's just spent the whole time squatting.
Yeah, those bloody Fitbits, they give you extra steps, whereas this Garmin's, you're bloody a bit more accurate than the Fitbits.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this was yours though.
It was mine, yeah. So, but anyway, so thanks for coming on, appreciate it.
Cheers.
Not sure who the next special guest is. We've got 2 possibilities lined up. We've got Jakob.
Yeah.
Or we're going to try and jump in with the PT unit in Scamersdale. But I think that might be a bit more of a bigger thing where we're going to try and bring you like a few, like a chat like this with Adam, a workout video and a gym tour as well. So we're kind of bringing it back to a bit more sort of like workout related and themes and stuff. And from a professional who's been doing it 20 years as well. But it's been good to get Shaun in today and talk about climbing, get a bit of an insight into that kind of thing, because I don't really know anything about climbing. I'm going to climb this wall, put my hand on the bricks, lift my leg up and push it up.
No idea what that was.
I have no idea what it is. But anyway, so thanks guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. Hit the globe to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and we'll throw you to a couple of videos. We'll throw you to Tony's chat, and we'll throw you to the Chappers' workout video, his Mr. Motivator style video. They're my coffee cups for in the morning when I need that kick of black coffee to get me going before I get to CPW and working out with Chappers.
Is there someone that makes these that because it's like
They're Amy's, mate. She just bought them.
I'm promoting it.
She likes
You know what I mean?
birds. What can I say? Anyway.
And we'll have a Just Giving link soon for these.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, keep an
Yeah,
eye
good
out for that.
shout
Yeah, we'll
Friday.
Yeah, Friday will. So yeah, this will probably come out. I'm going back to this will probably come out
Tomorrow morning.
after after you guys have booked it, after we've booked it. So yeah, follow the Just Giving link at the bottom of the description. There you go. Look at that future planning. You can tell we're professionals here, can't we? No, it'll be in the description, mate. You know, down in the description.
Always down.
Flex
Always
while
down.
you do it. It's an exercise. Flex
Down in the description.
Flex.
I can't see you. I'm always
You're so short. But yeah, again, hit the subscribe notification, hit the bell for notifications.
just always in the back.
Tony's chat
I
and
should have sat
his
here.
workout over here. I'm gonna go now
Thanks,
because he's wrecking my head. But yeah, cheers, Sean. Thanks very much, and cheers,
All
chappers,
the best.
for being in the back.
Fuck,
Yeah.
that's it.